So why is the next 6 months that important to become a crypto millionaire? Well, we've seen the title on about every single social media platform. Why X amount of time before such period of time is integral to become rich in crypto. But I am going to present some extremely invaluable information you need to follow, because ultimately I have experienced the power of what I'm going to show you from my mentor here in a minute recently myself, and it's opened my eyes up. Guys, the reason 6 months is going to be so important for us to actually implement what I'm going to show you in today's video is because in 7 months' time, the crypto bull run will officially be ramping up to its all-time, well, at least ramping up to enough where we're going to have a lot of people coming into the market, okay? The halving. And so that's why I think being so early, being in this integral time period we are right now, you are absolutely insane if you don't spend 10, 15 minutes watching this video, learning this method, and then implementing it. It's a game changer. Let me talk to you about what that actually is here. Let's dive into it. So why will the next 6 months create crypto millionaires? Let's explain. So research. And no, not the methodical, boring type you probably all hate, and I definitely do hate myself. The research that every person who wants to actually make money in 2025, 100% bare minimum needs to be doing. Ultimately, we are super lucky as to be in crypto right now. In the next 6 months, there'll be 1 month prior, as I mentioned, to the next Bitcoin halving, meaning a lot of new people will be in, and therefore prices will be a lot higher from our favorite altcoins than they are at least right now. So if we take advantage, we most definitely will be in a great spot and position for 2025. Every single cent we get cheaper on our altcoins is the more multiples we can eventually make. It all is exponential. Everyone watching this video, and I really do mean it, everyone watching this video should be taking some time to do what I propose in this video over the next 6 months. It is the difference between you doing okay and being the first person in your family to be a millionaire by 2025. How many buzzwords have I thrown in there? Probably too many. But I hope you guys understand the gravity of the situation. I'll be making videos on this in the future. Again, 6 months out is like the best time to be doing this. Anyway, so let's just imagine this for a second. 2021's bull run was over here. 2025's is coming up. Now on this cycle, of course, all you guys know, this is a screenshot from actually the 2018 cycle to the 2021 cycle. But let's imagine it's going to be playing out something similar to like this. Effectively, where we are right now is essentially smack bang in the middle. Okay, now demand will start to pick up very soon. It was cut short by Big C, the big COVID, right? But the next 6 months is going to be where you need to understand this before the surge in demand. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. Nevertheless, we typically see a lot more people come in the market. Therefore, you know, good, crazy news about whether it's Bitcoin, altcoins, or an altcoin in particular is propagated to more people. Therefore, we may never see the same prices ever again. Okay, so the beautiful thing about being early that we are right now is having the power of time, something that you literally cannot purchase. Learning over the next 6 months is super important, but do not overdo yourself. Small steps each day will get you to where you need to be without the burnout, without feeling dumb and then giving up. This is a very, very big issue that I actually faced myself over the many years I've been in crypto now. I can't stress enough how important the 2025 bull run will be for our financial future. So here's something I learned from my mentor recently that has significantly boosted 4 things. 1, most importantly, my productivity. 2, my workflows. 3, my sense of accomplishment. And 4, my overall mental health. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? And I want you guys to follow this to the T. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, this might take an hour or 2 out of my day. I don't want to hear none of that sort of stuff. What I am showing you here is effectively and essentially how you will actually make this a process and how you will become essentially a millionaire. Now, it's not going to be easy, right? You guys, again, watched my video last night. You understand the process and the steps that you must go through in order to make this a reality. And that is why in this video, I am telling you we have the time to implement it. So it's the daily grind. Follow this and you will be escaping the matrix. Trust me, okay? You must follow it to the T though. We're going to work on 6 to 12 goals, overall goals that we might want to achieve in crypto. So for example, some of these things might be, again, education. So learn crypto terms and how altcoins work. Number 2, narratives will be more powerful in 2025 and how to spot them in real time. 3, memetics and apply that to crypto. Price predictions to be as accurate as possible. Fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and you might want to analyze 3 altcoins, 5 altcoins, and 10 altcoins. So what does this all mean? What are we setting goals for here? Well, essentially, these goals are what we're going to actually be achieving. Now, how we're going to actually achieve these is through something called sprints, right? Which is a block of 2 weeks. So we have approximately in this time period, 12 sprints. Each sprint will have its own goal, and within each sprint we'll work out what we need to do each day. This might sound silly to some of you, and I get it. But my mentor first told me this, again, very recently, like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, there's no way. For me, actually, it was 3 goals over, 6 sprints. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm writing out all these days of all this work. You're going to see in a second just how amazing it is, because when you're learning something like crypto, which is something that you have to spend a lot of time and resources in. I mean, you guys might wonder, if you watch my live streams, you'll be thinking to yourself, how does this guy, as in me, right, Kyron, know so much about this industry? Again, I've been in this industry for 3.5 years now. I spent lots of time researching, but I know, and I'm not saying this to be cocky in any which way, I know a lot more than most people who have been in this space for a lot longer than me. Double, maybe even 2.5 times longer than I actually have. And that's because I, spent a lot of time just aimlessly researching. But if I actually set my goals, and if I decided to break those goals up into literally bite-sized bits, to where every single day you're not blasting your ass full of a whole bunch of research and like freaking yourself out. If you do it methodically and you set your goals and then you do these sprints, which I'll show you how to do in a second here, and then do the daily work, you will literally be doing very minimal per day. And the ultimate goal in 6 months is you will come out going, I am going to crush the bull run. So essentially what we do here is take one of these goals, okay, let's say education, and then we break it again up into 2 sprints here. So one sprint, again, is 2 weeks. So the first sprint might be the goal of reading the first 5 altcoin white papers, right? And sprint 2 might be read up on new terms / crypto tech and then dive down rabbit hole. And then you might do something over here, like with the narratives. Okay, so number 2, your 2 sprints might be what narratives were powerful in 2021. And then the second week might be what narratives will be powerful in 2025. Sprint 2, finding irregularities in past narratives, then diagnosing them and then finding them in real time. So you can see the ultimate goal here is we're breaking these sprints to achieve the ultimate goal, okay, for essentially that month. All right, we're going to do something with memetics, so on and so forth. So from here, divide your sprints into weeks and then into days. Now, I know I can almost hear like 90% of you groaning right now, okay? So what I was saying is you're going to then take these 2 sprints and then break each sprint into the 2 weeks and then work out what you're doing per day. That sounds literally next to impossible, because what you're essentially doing here is planning your next 6 months. But this shouldn't take you more than an hour to 2 hours to do. So again, this is cumbersome and it will be boring to plan the next 6 months, but trust me, I was forced to do it too. It was the best thing I have ever done. Literally the best thing I've ever done, ever, okay? But it's very important to remember to factor in your rest days. So if we would apply this to step 1, or essentially education, right? Learn crypto terms and how altcoins work. That's our first goal. So sprint 1, so the very first week, we might do something like read the first 5 altcoin white papers. Okay, so week 1 might constitute of Monday, read 2 pages of Bitcoin, which we're going to try to ramp things up, starting slow. Day 2 rather, read 3 pages of the Bitcoin white paper. And Wednesday, read the last 4. Thursday, water a plant. You have a rest day, you take a break. Again, remember, this is something that you should be waking up in the morning and just having a cup of coffee and reading. Like reading the first 2 pages of the Bitcoin white paper shouldn't take you any more than an hour. And that's at a beginner level, okay? Then as we can go on down here, Friday, read 5 pages of whatever project you so wish, preferably proof of stake. So what I've done here is essentially said, we're going to learn a bit about proof of stake networks in this case. Now, when I say read the first 5 pages, you don't have to read the first 5 pages. Again, this can be constructed in any which way you so like to achieve whatever goal you want. The key here is we're early. We're 6 months early. You have the time to spend to do this sort of stuff. So I'm just giving you examples in this case. You don't have to. This could be literally read 1 page. It all does depend. Saturday, maybe spend 2 to 4 hours researching the terms from the last week. You might have terms, what is a blockchain? What is a DAG? What is proof of stake? What is proof of work? What is Merkle trees? These things, again, you can take your time with it, spend as much time or as little as time as you want on each sort of topic. But Sunday, hang out with the family. Done, okay? Again, we're getting a big chunk of these sprints to ultimately break down a goal. Week 2, again, you might well look more into proof of stake networks. Tuesday, do the research on the old and new terms from solidifying last week's knowledge. Then proof of work, do 1 push-up, proof of work, so on and so forth. Sprint 2, again, we're breaking the larger first goal up again into 2 weeks. Read up on new terms / crypto tech, dive down rabbit holes. Now, this is what I personally would have done if I was in your position, because I have a keen interest in learning about crypto terms. I like researching projects. As most of you know, cryptocurrency is multifaceted. We have business models, so we have to understand online businesses and how that sort of works, those aspects. It's also new economic structures, tokenomics, first of its kind, and also technology. We're in a new, ever-evolving landscape with technology, okay? So there's a few different things here, and this is how I would essentially tackle it. But ultimately, guys, again, we're breaking these goals up. We're picking what goals we want and then dividing them. Now, you might have 6 goals. Hell, you might not even listen to me. You might have 3 goals broken up into 6 2-week sprints, okay? And that's absolutely fine. You can do it however you want. The purpose of this is to make this large goal that might seem so crazy to you and stretch it out over the next 6 months, because that is where you want to be on your ball with things, okay? And again, as I mentioned down here, of course, doing things like technical analysis, fundamental analysis, whatever suits your idea of education in the space is what you should be adding in here, okay? So guys, that is why the next 6 months will create Crypto Millionaires, specifically because we are in a time period right before things start really ramping up and all those degens start forming back in that have been pretty much hibernating over the last 12 months. And we can, of course, be on our ball, ready to go. We have more time, of course. We have a hell of a lot more time, as you can see here. A lot of people do speculate that, 2025 won't even be the bull run. It'll be probably later on. I don't know. I feel like if it does stretch past 2025, we're going to be pretty much in some sort of recession or depression, because a lot of the market cycles do close come 2026, 2027. So be very mindful of that. Guys, that's going to pretty much cover today's video. I really appreciate you watching all the way through to the very end. And please let me know down below if you apply what I've taught you here. I can't begin to describe again. I know I've reiterated this like multiple times in this video. And some of you might look at this and go, well, this isn't talking about my favorite altcoins. This isn't doing that. And you're not telling me how to buy altcoins and what price predictions are. I get it. This is the sort of thing that if you're seriously someone who wants to make millions, if you're someone who actually wants to be on the side of smart money in 2025, you really should be following and now. Okay, so that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.